Hey friends, welcome. My name is Shayda Campbell and welcome to my living room today. This is my Christmas tree. It's like a person. This is the tree. He's real and it smells great. And we've got like a whole Christmassy vibe. So I thought it'd just be fun to sit in front of the tree and paint some ornaments with you. This is something that I've shared on the channel in Reels on YouTube. So it's not new, but I do it every year and it's really fun. And if you haven't seen it, great. And if you have, I think you'll enjoy it. So I make these sweet little Scandinavian ornaments. My tree is covered in them and they're so simple. And they were actually one of my first reels to go viral. Let me see if I can grab one off the tree. And I think the reason people love them is just their simplicity. But as I love to say, they've got a great bang for your buck. So easy to make, but really beautiful. And all you need are a few simple supplies. Have I said the word simple enough? You need, got all my supplies under the coffee table here. Air dry clay, and I recommend porcelain air dry clay if you can find it. At least in Canada, it's in this purple package usually. And the reason I love the porcelain is because if you have little kids or a cat, it's really not breakable. In fact, when it dries, it kind of looks like dried white glue. And that's what it reminds me of. And you could like throw it at a wall and it's just not going anywhere. I've done a bunch, because I make gift tags as well that are reusable from year to year. I've done a bunch with like just regular air dry clay and they're quite brittle and they only seem to get more and more brittle as the years go on. So, but also some of these air dry clays I bought for like $2 at the dollar store, whereas this one was more like $20. So you can do it however you like, but you're going to get your air dry clay, just cut off a little piece, roll it out just as if you're making gingerbread cookies. Cut out the cookies with cookie cutters like circles, hearts. I found a little house a few years ago and I love making the house one for anybody that's bought a new home that year. And I also have a rocking horse and I love making this one for anybody that's had a baby. And I made one, of course, the year Sullivan was born and I just put the year on it. And I'm going to show you all about how to create them. So why don't we just jump in and get started? Okay, so other than your clay, you'll need a rolling pin, a couple cookie cutters, whichever shapes you want to make. And don't forget a pencil or paintbrush or chopstick so that you can make that hole. That's an easy step to forget. I've definitely drilled into gingerbread cookies that I wanted to put on the tree that I forgot to do that. I don't know if I've ever drilled into the clay, but especially the air dry is really brittle. You'll also need to paint them, and that's the step that we're just going to skip right to. That's where we're starting today. There's the thickness that you want, like maybe a little, like a ½ centimeter, a little bit thicker than a ½ centimeter. Other than all the supplies to make them, and of course, when you use the air dry clay, you just let it dry. Once they are totally dry, you need just a couple colors of like craft quality acrylic paint. I paint them white and then I use a light brown to do the designs, but you could choose any color. You'll also need tiny paintbrushes, a little bit of water, and then I use simple wooden beads and a little bit of ribbon, scissors, and it's nice to have something like a needle here. This is a knitting needle that'll help you push the ribbon through the little hole. But that's it. That's all there is to it. And I just thought it'd be fun to kind of hang out and sit together and work on a couple of these. So let's get started. What I did with these gift tag ones is I just painted them white. Actually, with the air dry clay, they dry to a beautiful white, so you don't even have to paint them. And then I use black acrylic paint to kind of splatter them so they have almost like a pottery look, like a speckled pottery. And I used a Sharpie to just write everybody's names on them. I have them for everybody in my life, and then I just reuse them every year. And they look really pretty and there's no waste. Not that I'm like against paper gift tags or anything like that. So here with the porcelain clay, you've got this clay that really looks like dried glue. So I just put a little bit of white paint on there to make it that nice bright white. And then we will use the brown crafter's acrylic to do some sweet little designs. And I usually take the time to paint the edges. I don't know how important that is to you, but personal preference. Honestly, these are something that you could make with kids and let the kids cut them out and then paint them, especially with the porcelain clay. It's not frustrating, you know. With the air dry clay, they're definitely so brittle that kids will likely break them. I know Sully broke a few this year, just of my old ones, taking them out of the ornaments bag, and it wasn't even his fault. They're just that brittle, so highly recommend the porcelain. I think I've made my point. Sorry, just going on and on about that. I am trying a more casual style of video. I think everybody's just, you know, wants a friend and wants someone to create and hang out with. And so I want to be that. And I was saying in another video that I do all these fun creative projects. Some of them are great, some of them are not, some of them don't go anywhere. They're just things I try. I really like trying new mediums and new crafts, and I'm not good at all of them. But I don't share them because we've just put such a polish on the videos at this point that I just simply would not have the time to film and then edit and share. But if I kind of take the filming down a little and just use my phone and don't worry so much about all the B-roll and all the editing, well, then I can share a lot more of what I'm doing around here. And so that's kind of the idea behind this switch in this channel. And I hope you like it. And if not, that's okay too, because this is a big shift. And I just really love to hear in the comments what you think of the kind of more casual approach right now. Sorry, I'm probably not even holding that on camera. Okay, so we've put a little bit of paint on these guys. Here's one that I've already painted. I'm just going to rinse my brush. We'll get rid of this larger brush. And then you want to take like a really tiny little round brush that comes to a nice fine point like that. Shake up your paint. Ooh, this is old paint. She's crunchy. Just pour a little into the cap or onto a palette so that you're not dipping your brush like right in the jar, which can be really difficult to maintain control and know how much is on your brush. And then all we're going to do is paint little leaves and maybe some flowers and berries as well. Having that teeny tiny little brush is so key so that you can make fine lines and do little delicate bits. The most wonderful thing about this is that no matter what, it's going to look good. Nobody's going to be checking if every leaf and flower looks right or normal. They look so pretty sort of just as a cluster. And so in that way, it's really easy to be very successful with this. Now my sister and brother-in-law just added a new baby to their family. They now have 2 boys. So Sully just got a new cousin. So this will be for him. His name is Kai. And I just want to put the year right here in the center along the bottom of the rocking horse, the rolling horse. So let's just write. Whenever I do stuff like this, I feel like I'm going to screw it up. Like I'm going to write like 2030. I don't know why. That's just my fear. There we go, 2023. Now we know that that is in place. And so we can now kind of be free and put in all of the other flowers and leaves. Let me just see if I can find Sully's. Here we go. I kind of wanted to look at it to see how I had designed it because I'm going to copy that. And what I did here is I just did the year and then I put 2 leaves out to the side. So let's go with that. We'll just do the little stems first. There we go. Kind of help us plan it. And then, yeah, we'll do our little delicate leaves. And that just frames it really nicely. And you can do a similar design for the house if somebody you know bought their first home or did a big move, something like that. Doing the home with the date, or not even the date, just the home with the leaves and flowers, I think is just so nice. So I've done some tiny leaves. Let's do some larger ones. So they're not all the exact same size, and I think that'll look really good. Okay. The nice thing about leaves and berries is that it's really easy to fill in spaces. You can always just add one more, just like I did there, and you know, it fills in the area. We can also do little flowers. And with the flower, you're basically just painting a little X. It's that simple. Let's do another larger leaf up here on his face. There we go. It's really just a few little marks of the brush. Just try not to stress about it. I feel like I need to fill this area in a bit more, so I'm going to continue this same leaf. That's good. We'll put a little berry over here. The nice thing too is you can paint a whole bunch of these, you know, while you watch a holiday movie. And if you're painting a number of them and you know you've got a special one, like for a new baby, just save it for later when you're feeling really comfortable and those brush strokes are just coming to you so easily. I always find I do my best work when there's like absolutely no pressure. Okay, we'll add another leaf to this guy, fill that area in. Add another berry there. Yeah, maybe a flower. It only takes, you know, a minute or maybe 10 minutes to do one of these. And it's something that your friends and family will take out every Christmas and just love, I'm sure. Okay, where do I need another leaf? Maybe here. Maybe a really tiny one up here. Just doing like dots of paint. There we go, and then we just need to add a little something on his tail. The paint tends to kind of create a ridge on the brush, so it's a good idea every once in a while to just rinse your brush, blot it on the paper towel, clean it off, and then just start fresh. Let's just do a nice little almost like fern on his tail. There we go. Maybe we have room for a little berry up here. If you have some random space, you can always do like a little heart or even a little X because it'll just look like another little flower. And that's really all. There we go. That looks so pretty. And it's really when you add that bright red ribbon, I've got some velvet ribbon here, some satin ribbon, and the bead. It all comes together and it just looks so nice and so polished. Let's see if our little house is dry. Yeah, totally. He's ready for some paint. So let's do that one together. Yeah, I'm just redoing this camera here so it's nice and close in case something's feeling, in case, you know, doing this tiny little stuff it's feeling like I'm a little, like the camera's a little bit far away. What am I saying? This time, let's keep it really simple. So for an easy time, let's start with some large leaves. Try to keep those stems as thin and delicate as you possibly can. But if they get a little bit thick, no worries. Let's do one up there and then another down here. Starting with your largest forms is just a good way to make sure that you have room for the larger bits, because having a little contrast of size is just a nice way to create a really pretty painting. You've got some tiny, delicate stuff, but also some larger bits. It'll just add a nice balance to the entire thing, the entire design. So once those two are in place, you can start doing some of the smaller leaf and berry shapes surrounding those initial ones. So I did a little leaf. Let's put a little berry in over here. 3 little berries, and we'll just add some stems. Maybe one more berry there. And let's do another leaf out to this corner. I'm going to do another berry up here. It's a great way to fill in an odd little angled area. There we go. Let's see. Let's put a little flower right here. Basically, it's just an X, nothing more. Do one more large leaf out here. I should have seen that before. You know, if you put one form really close to an edge, you're probably going to have to take it all the way to the edge, and that's fine. We could be extra and do like a tiny little leaf design on the chimney. It's going to be really, really tiny. That's okay. There we go. That's cute. And just made a leaf where I'm basically just doing like messy brush marks and then running a line through it so that it looks intentional. And maybe we do a little curly Q down here to kind of fill in some space at the bottom. I'm going to place one more large leaf over here, maybe 2, fill that in, and then we really just need, I think, another berry over here. Okay, final design, another leaf, making that one a little bit messier. Do we need more over on the right here? Maybe one more berry, 2 more berries. The key with the berries is just connecting them with like a little stem or something so they're not just sitting alone, and then all of a sudden they go from looking pretty simple to really delicate and detailed. I think that's probably good. We could do a little X down there. Yeah, let's leave it alone. Let's stop. Know when to stop, Shayda. That's like one of the things I always say. I never know when to stop. I always go a little too far. I tend to just want to keep going. Like if I made a mistake, it's fine. I'll just do more, and more will erase my mistakes. It doesn't really work like that. Sometimes less is more, you know? I think this one's going to need another coat of white paint, and that's fine. We'll give you another coat of paint. I'll finish that one up later. But if the rocking horse is dry enough, the one that I painted, we'll put the ribbon through, and you can just see what it looks like, because it really does take it up a level. Make sure that the ribbon comes to like a nice fine point. Cut it on an angle. Start feeding it through, and then if you need to, use that ribbon. Use the needle to feed it into the hole, to really push it the rest of the way. But usually, sometimes just folding it can work. And there you can see it's coming through the other side. Yay, success. Okay, and then we need a bead. This guy looks good. Okay, now all we have to do is put that bead on, and it's pretty much done. I've got the ends of the ribbon together. They're both angled. I'm going to fold them and just try to guide them in at the same time. If you need to, simply use the needle to help you out. Oh, did I get both? Oh, yes, I did get both. There we go. Slide that down. It holds the ribbon in place. And then you just place a little knot up at the top, and there's your ornament. It's like a 10-minute project, and this is something that goes so well if you're giving a gift card to a friend or family member. Wrap it and put that on top, and it just takes the whole gift up to a very personal and heartfelt level. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. There is lots more watercolor and illustration content coming up soon. I've just been in kind of a crafty mood because of Christmas, but don't forget, I do have watercolor e-courses, as well as a brand new floral illustration e-course available on my website. So you can always head over to shaydacampbellcourses.com if you're hungry for any of that content. And everything right now is on sale. You can use the code on the screen to get 30% off the courses as well as the bundles. I'll see you soon.